It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
When you look at this defense,
they are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll leave them with a third and just a yard.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Yeah, boy, that's going to be close. He didn't get much at all there, but he got the first. Looked like they might have held him defensively, but the referee signals it will be a first down.
But when it's 4th and inches, shouldn't you pick up the first down? I mean, shouldn't you go for it? I mean, if you can't get inches, right, why are you playing?
And on inches, that's your favorite play, right? Don't mess with handing it off. Just go ahead and get the surge and go right up the gut. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
Montez Sweat in good form there as he sacks another quarterback. And he's in good form in 2022 as well. Put up 8 sacks coming up with an injury-shortened campaign the year prior.
Throw left side to Reynolds. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Throwing now is Allen.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 45-yard line.
The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
But not many guys who could blow up plays like Chase Young. He did it again there.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. From midfield, here's Allen. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And 3rd and 8 now.
It's safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already, I think he's got a good chance.
Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. And the Commanders are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover.
Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So 1st and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders.
At the 33-yard line.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You look at this Buffalo defense.
They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan, players executing it. Now both of them are in sync.
With a play fake, and now here's Hal to throw it.
He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, this defense for the Bills, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Hal, he'll look to throw it.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Meanwhile, Allen's throw into the hands of Reynolds here.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Allen now looks to throw. Steps away. Touchdown, Bills! Nyheim Hines, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The extra point hitting the right upright, but it caroms home, and it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Second down, Howell now.
That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
First catch here by McLaurin, and he's got himself a 1st down. A toss left side for Gibson.
He can't get him down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 36.
On 1st down, right back to Gibson.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Howell going to audible to something else. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Down right at
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Well, that's one stuff. We'll see if this defense has another in their back pocket.
I just wonder on the other side of the ball, do you just challenge the big guys up front? This is a short yardage situation. We ought to be able to pick this up. Or do you say to yourself, they are awfully tough. I've got to throw it on this down.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Third and 2. Here's Howell. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Gibson trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Gibson again.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson.
His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Commanders are an extra point away from drawing level.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Fournette, a first down carry. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
From the gun, it's Allen. That is caught, and he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Nyheim Hines, his first carry.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 9, 2nd and 5. To the air, Allen. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. Touchdown! Nyheim Hines. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bills have taken the lead. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
An extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes the score 14-7.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And Howe will throw it.
Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Howell. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 30-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel.
Now here's a pass on 1st down. It's knocked away and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now Allen. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills 1st down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Allen.
Getting the football to Davis on an out route.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Reynolds with a catch out on the right side. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. He's got room at the 30. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
So a capper there to a pretty good 1st half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And this is going to be covered up by Washington.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports.
Commanders 7.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports.
From the end zone, here's Pringle. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Howell throwing on third down here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. So it's kind of more of the same offensively. This was a team needing to come out of this third quarter with a little fire. Instead, they put the ball on the ground.
And you know that has to be the discussion at halftime, because they're down 2 scores. We got to come out with a little bit more urgency than we had in the first half. Now that urgency falls on their defense because they can't fall down 3 scores. Hope to come back and win this game.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 41 yards. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
2nd and 10. They'll go again with Gibson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll go play action. Howell. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Inside handoff now to Fournette. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go, let's go.
Allen going to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Reynolds. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
It's a gain of 6, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Gabriel Davis, a 20-yard touchdown.
And the Bills take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is now 24.
Commanders 7. Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, you know, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
50 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
At the 33-yard line.
With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
It's a loss of 8. Brings up 2nd and 18 at the 25-yard line.
A give up the middle to Gibson.
And some room to maneuver.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Faking the handoff. Howell.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13.
Hey, smash Bronco! Check Bobcat, check Bobcat!
4th down. Howell.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. To the 27-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Reynolds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll run forward with Hines. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down.
And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Howell, he'll look to throw it.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
This is Hines. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So the shotgun snap to Allen.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Allen's pass intercepted. The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Let's go now.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
That's good for a Washington.
Howell changing the play here.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
On first and 10, it's Gibson.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
83 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
At the 11-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches.
Smash, smash. Bronco switch, Bronco switch. Take go.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders get a bit closer.
He's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
And now the Washington offense going to stay out there and go for 2. Howell throwing for it.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Bills are going to recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. And that'll be incomplete.
Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Fournette running right, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays. And they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Off play action. It's Howell. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
That's good for Washington. First down. First and 10 at the 36.
Straight ahead, Gibson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Throwing here, Howell. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 44-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 44-yard line. Now they go play action with Howell. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Second down throw for Howell. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
But it's fourth down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Oh, they're changing this at the line.
Hey, check that. Check go.
They'll go. It's Gibson. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bills are going to get the football back. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on. They'll try and run some clock with Fournette. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. So Allen's going to look to throw. They'll fire this deep for Hardy. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Allen to throw it. They'll fire this deep for Hardy. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on fourth down. And that will force a turnover on downs. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
They run the toss now with Gibson. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. Powell.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Gibson here running out of the gun.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
That's good for Washington.
Well, Hal's going to mix it up here.
Goal at the 4-yard line.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson.
His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game.
And the Commanders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. Going deep for Diggs. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Allen's pass intercepted. The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10. Here's Howell. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Howell to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments. And anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Howell with one final shot. And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. And the Bills come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Buffalo, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.